Teamwork makes the dream work, and Mollymook, they've got 3 in the men's beach flags final, but they'll take on the best in the business. Blake Drysdale was undefeated in 2016-2017. Let's see if he can continue his run here in the men's beach flags final. Jack, he was absolutely superb last summer. The only man to get a win in the Summer of Surf was Hayden White, incredibly, a water competitor. Everyone else fell to big Blake Drysdale. We'll see how he goes here. And Dean Scarf, a change of cap from the Collaroy Club to North Bondi. We're used to seeing him in that all-red cap. We'll have to get used to seeing him in the brown, white and red of North Bondi. So a change in the off-season there. We'll see if there's been a change in this man. Off and away, very quick early on from all men. A couple of stumbles on the far side, and it is the man from Coogee, Jake Irvine, who goes home. And, well, not the performance he would have wanted, but just simply outclassed there. Off and away with Dean Scarf, one of the fastest in the business, former Australian beach sprint champion, so we know he's quick across the sand. Drysdale, perfect as always, no issue at all.
Plenty of speed from those two, Josh, and it was Drysdale first to the flags, and we're so used to seeing that throughout the Ocean6 Summer of Surf series last year. It's fantastic to see what Blake Drysdale has been able to achieve in the beach flags, and he seems to keep that good roll running.
And just like that, a bad draw for Jake Irvine gets him alongside some of the fastest men in the sport. SCRIVENER from Mollymook, that famous black cap with the 2 white stripes from the south coast of New South Wales, a strong beach club. Great history of rowing boats as well. And closest to screen, Dean Scarf, the 2 lads from Newport there, Jake Lynch, Blake Drysdale, 2 of the best in the business. Imagine training with those 2. 3 from Mollymook. Mixed in there as well, 1 from ELOUERA and Michael HANNA. Heads are set to go down. Oh, and SCRIVENER. SCRIVENER goes just like that. We've got ourselves a false start. He knows it. And what about the camera work there from the Summer of Surf Ocean6 team? They were right on him, and he knew straight away. Didn't even hang around to talk to the judges. He is gone, and just like that, there's 1 less run for the rest of the field. Let's look at it. Oh, wow. I think maybe there was a twitch from someone else in the field.
I think it might have been Jack Williams, the Mollymook teammate, the light twitch, the slightest of twitches, and that's got Brock Scrivener moving. And unfortunately, he goes home. No break rule. You're out of here. Sam ZUSTOVICH from Mollymook, another boy. There's still 2 of them left.
2 from Mollymook, 1 goes home, and that's not what you want. They had the advantage, the teamwork advantage, and this is the man who had a little twitch in the last one. And they're very, very twitchy competitors, these beach flags men. Scarf, Lynch, Drysdale, Williams, HANNA, and ZUSTOVICH. Heads up. Heads down. Away they go off, and very quick on this bottom side. 2 from Newport. Oh, 1 from North Bondi. I thought Dean Scarf was going to miss out, but he doesn't. It's Jack Williams, and just like that, 2 Mollymook boys go home, one after another.
Well, I feel like there may have been an opportunity there, Josh, for Drysdale and Lynch to take out Scarf, but it didn't eventuate. Lynch ended up taking a quick late diversion to the left, and that allowed Scarf to pick up that flag in between.
No dramas at all. He had them for speed there. On the other side, ZUSTOVICH, very strong. Look at that. The only man wearing the high-vis rash shirt there, and a little move very, very late from Jake Lynch. Look at it, the little dart across there. Dean Scarf goes, I'm all right, I'm still through. Jake Lynch does the foot dig to really get himself set up. Sets himself, and no, Blake Drysdale's not happy. He's not happy with something. I don't know what it is. He's taking the cap off. He might have a little injury here, Blake Drysdale. Oh, and they've brought out the ice there, so a pinky injury or some kind of finger injury here, and it could be the only thing that stops our undefeated champion of last year, and it looks like he's done something to his hand, Jack, so that is not what you want, and we might just say goodbye to Blake Drysdale.
Well, beach flags is a sport that we refer generally to leg speed and strength, but it's about whole body. And if your body is not ready, if your ankles aren't ready, right through to your shoulders, elbows, and even fingers, it can cost you heavily. And Blake Drysdale is getting looked at by the medics, I assume, at this stage. We'll take a look at the replay and perhaps, I'm not too sure, I can't see anything as of yet.
Oh, there, you can see he grabs the hand as he's grabbed the flag, and maybe he just caught his finger. And the defending Australian champion, will he go out? Will he stay in? We're about to find out. He shakes the hand. No, he's back down in the sandpit here. I thought we'd almost lost him. And the rest of the field, well, they'll be licking their chops, because when you've got a champion who's wounded, they can go one of two ways. He can call it a day, or he'll be backed into a corner and he'll attack. And we'll see. Michael HANNA from ELOUERA. Well, the fly on the nose there, not the distraction you want. But can Blake Drysdale overcome the dislocated finger and survive? Off and away. It doesn't seem to have hurt him in the turn. No dramas at all. ZUSTOVICH and HANNA come together. Oh, they scramble for it. They pull and grab, and I don't know. It looks like maybe we'll go to a runoff. Blue cap of HANNA, the black and white MOLLYMOOK cap of ZUSTOVICH. We'll have a look at it here, and Drysdale, he seemed back at his best despite the dislocated finger, Jack.
Well, if you can split these two boys as they come down the track, and it looks like ZUSTOVICH was in front, but a little stumble, and HANNA managed to reach him with his left arm and take control of that flag also. So that's what we call a dead heat. That is a tie. We go to a runoff, man versus man, for one flag.
Blake Drysdale there uses the left and sort of, well, defends his right hand there. I know it's injured. We'll see how long he can survive, but it's time to get it on. It's elimination time here. ZUSTOVICH and HANNA, the young gun, versus the more experienced man from ELOUERA, Michael HANNA. Very focused. Off and away there. ZUSTOVICH very quick, almost a stumble. He gets in front, gets the shoulder out, gets the flag, survives and goes back into the competition. Michael HANNA goes home. Sam ZUSTOVICH has to do one extra round. And just like that, I thought it was all over with the stumble from ZUSTOVICH, but he got himself together, stayed composed and got the flag.
Well, a near carbon copy of the run we saw before where the two boys came together and it was a dead heat, but ZUSTOVICH just managed this time to get that right hand in front and across and take the flag all on his own.
Look at that, almost perfect dive there from ZUSTOVICH. HANNA tried to do the reverse there. It didn't work for him. I don't think it's going to take off. You've got to have two eyes on the flag, and how's Blake Drysdale going to handle this? He's got a little bit of tape on that right hand now to keep his fingers together. We've got the Australian bronze medalist in Jake Lynch, former Australian beach sprint champion in Dean Scarf, the current Australian junior beach flags champion in Sam ZUSTOVICH, and the current Australian Open beach flags champion in Blake Drysdale. I'll never say there was any quality in this one. Down and away, off we go. Newport on the outside. ZUSTOVICH comes together. Oh, he gets one over the current Australian Open champion, and just like that, his unbeaten run of over 12 months comes to an end. Broken finger or dislocated finger or not, Blake Drysdale is going home without a medal here, and it's young Sam ZUSTOVICH who does it. He's brought down the big gun, and he's done it in style.
Well, the wounded champion is labouring a little bit with that hand, not willing to put the weight on it, but take nothing away from young gun Sam ZUSTOVICH. He did exactly what he had to do to take down the ever-electric Blake Drysdale.
Jake Lynch and Dean Scarf had little trouble finding a flag, and this was where the real competition was at. Master and apprentice, and today the apprentice gets one up over the wounded master. And well, Dean Scarf's already cheering. He's happy just to be in the top three. So just like that, as soon as Blake Drysdale goes out of the competition, it blows it wide open. And although these two will be very confident, I wouldn't count out the young gun from MOLLYMOOK, the man in the middle, standing out in his high vis. Dean Scarf closest to camera. Off and away. Oh, very quick on the outside. There's got a lot of work to do for ZUSTOVICH, and just like that, he goes home. And the two men on the outside were very, very quick, and I think he used all his cookies in the last run to take out the Australian champion. But hugs all round from the young gun from south of Sydney. Sam ZUSTOVICH from MOLLYMOOK finishes with bronze.
Well, a great effort there from ZUSTOVICH, and have a look, he got himself in front and just didn't have the speed or the strength at the end, and unfortunately, young Sam ZUSTOVICH is packing his bags and heading home, but a valiant effort to match it with some of the very best in beach flags in the country.
Yeah, very impressive effort there from the young gun. But here we go, two of the most experienced men on the sand. Dean Scarf, he's been around a very, very long time. And Jake Lynch, the current, well, Australian bronze medalist. The year before, he finished with silver behind Simon Harris, so he knows how to go head-to-head with some of the biggest, baddest boys in the business. It's been a while since either of these men have stood on the top podium at an Ocean 6 round, and one of them will crack it today. Scarf with the white cap, red stripe. Lynch with the yellow. Off and away, very quick from Scarf, but he's already behind. A little stumble and he gives up. Jake Lynch takes the win. Newport's reign continues, but this time Jake Lynch finishes on top in round one, and it's been a while since he's claimed victory, and it's a very, very welcome one there. Dean Scarf, he was good early, but just a little stumble and not enough speed. He couldn't get there. Jake Lynch dominant from the very first whistle.
Well, an outstanding run there by Lynch. He left his best run till the very last, and even in slow-mo, Jake Lynch looks like he's flying.
Well, he was flying, and he's on top of round one here at Queenscliff Beach. Great win for Jake Lynch. Dean Scarf, the runner-up, has finished second at least 3 times in the Summer of Surf, and have to settle for second once more. Sam ZUSTOVICH, his first trip to the podium here in the Ocean 6 Series. Blake Drysdale, we wish him a speedy recovery for his finger injury. Hannah, Williams, Scrivener and Irvine round out our top 8.
Yeah, it was tough competition. You had Dino finishing second, like he's been quality flagger for like the last 10 years. And then you had Sammy, who's the up-and-coming young kid coming through, he's killing it. And unfortunately Blake, who's been the dominant flagger for the last 2 seasons, just dislocated his finger. But I'm training partner of Blake, and I know how hard he's been training all season. He's been training like a weapon. He's killing it in training, so he's definitely going to be a force again this season.
Now, you've had a very good off-season. You must be looking forward to the Ocean 6 Series ahead.
Yeah, definitely. The off-season was a bit interrupted with injury, but first competition here today, and good way to finish the first competition, but definitely looking forward to the next round at Coolum and the next rounds after